carpet salesman right now. But I just looked at you, and that's all that came in my head. It was Joey looks really Middle Eastern now. I don't know what it is about your face. The more your beard grows,
it's because it's the summer and I have some color, so you actually see the off-white part more. When I get tan, then I tan olive-ish, and you can see the Mediterranean side a little more.
A little bit more. Man, but you had fun, Joey? Did you have fun in New York?
I did. It was a great trip. It's the first time I've been able to actually do a road trip for comedy. I mean, it was also to see friends. I got to do both those things. I got to hug two people that have been like family to me. So it was really great.
You got to hug Kandyce?
I got to hug Kandyce. I got to hug Alex.
Damn, I'm jealous.
I wish
I could
I
hug Kandyce.
sort of hugged Ryan. It wasn't as deep. It wasn't as long, but he hadn't had as much alcohol, so
it would have been a long, long lingering hug if he was drunk.
Yeah,
I remember riding down. But yeah, man. So happy you had fun, dude. The week off was a trying time for me. Let's see how much time we got left in the segment. It's our whole fucking show. It doesn't matter. The week off was more or less just work. I worked as hard as Rihanna did in that dumbass song, and now I am done with that particular part of work. What I will be doing currently and concurrently and moving forward is relaxing. I've chosen.
Yeah, Marcus, you're finally off. When did you get a day off?
Well, my next day off is not. Actually, I was off on Saturday. I was off this past Saturday,
finally. Fuck.
And I'll be off on Thursday, and then hopefully I will be taking a 4-day weekend. So I'll be off from Saturday to next Tuesday.
Amen. Hopefully. You deserve that shit. My God. What do you work like 3 weeks straight?
Yep.
Fuck, man.
And it was not fun in any way, shape, or form. I don't advise anyone to ever go into retail management. If you can choose any other path, go to school like your parents told you to. Go to trade school. Go to somebody's goddamn school. Do something. Sell stuff on the internet like Kandyce. Kandyce sells her OnlyFans is making her plenty of money. So just be like Kandyce.
Yo, did you know that they are barring pornographic content from OnlyFans now?
That's one of the topics we're going to go over later in the episode.
Oh my goodness, what is going to be the point of it from that? What else is anybody logging on to see? But anyway, we'll talk about it.
When you're a real fan, you don't need to see titties. You can just go.
Okay.
You can just go. I like how you look at me like that when I say that.
I'm just saying that's the whole point of the platform.
That was the initial point.
Paying to see.
That was the initial point. I got a video to send you that it's hilarious. It's a comedian. I need to get you her information so you can see if we can get her on the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny comedian. I think she's from the area. So, but yeah, man. We're gonna take a quick break, Joey. We're gonna kick into some things going on in the world. What is going on in our world, Joey? Do we got things? I know we got to talk about OnlyFans. We got to talk about it because I got to figure out what my account's gonna do. If it's gonna be fully deactivated or if I'm just gonna take all my credit cards and all the information off of it. So that, because again, if it ain't nude, it ain't mine. I don't need it. If they ain't naked, I don't need them. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of other shit going on in the world, man. The Paralympics is starting because the regular Olympics is over. So I guess the disabled people get their shine. I don't know what else is gonna happen.
Where's that noise?
Huh? That's her.
So much background noise.
It's Kandyce's.
Kandyce is what?
Like we can hear us.
Through your phone,
because your microphone and your phone is
picking us up.
It's picking us up. We hear it. That's why whenever you like now she's muted, so now you don't hear the same noise.
Yeah, it's clean now.
Okay, when I'm not talking, I'll just mute then.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Hey, man, you know what? Beautiful, silent or engaged. I love it either way, Kandyce. And you know me, I'm DJ Marcus, and I don't tell lies. Not at least on the Dot Comedy Podcast. But we can come back in a minute, Joey. We can talk about a whole bunch of more shit going on in the world, man. We'll see you in a minute, folks, on the Dot Comedy Podcast.
This what happened when I think about you. I get in my feelings, yeah. I start reminiscing, yeah. Next time around, fuck, I wanted to.
And this segment of That Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Smooth My Balls Turf Chopper 3.0. That's right, man. You want to engage some music? You want to exchange a little bit? Guess what? You got to keep them balls smooth. You want your lady to be riding them clean. Just like Bryson Tiller. You know, he likes to exchange. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, Smooth My Balls Turf Chopper 3.0. .comedy will get you 20% off your purchase of the Turf Chopper 3.0 and any other thing on the smoothmyballs.com website. So just check out smoothmyballs.com. And we're back into That Comedy Podcast. DJ Marcus, Joey LoFaro, Kandyce August. We are That Comedy. We are the family known as That Comedy. The crime family known as That Comedy. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that moniker as capo de tu capi. I am the boss of all bosses of the That Comedy crime family. So if anything happens to you guys, blame me. I'll take the hit. I'll take the Rico on this crime family, Joey. Or do you want to do the Italian thing and take it on yourself?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. All right, I'll let it be then, man. But Joey, man, I heard some crazy shit.
What was that?
And some bad news. OnlyFans has decided that they're taking the nude content off of their website. And they are going to make it a more closer to PG-13 status, where you can still do the booty shaking, but you can't see the cheeks flapping. If you get what I mean, if you understand what I'm coming from.
Okay, so do they want to be successful or not? Because they're literally banning everything that makes them a thing.
Well, the problem with it is what happens is they're trying to go public. Now, with them going public, they have to get investors to invest in their company.
Yep.
A lot of Wall Street investors don't like to invest in pornography. This has been pretty well known throughout the ages of how the adult film industry has always worked. The adult film industry is always financed by underworld sources, never by real money.
But it's like a catch-22. So you want to go public and get these investors, but in doing so, you're banning the very thing that makes you valuable. So I just don't understand how that's going to work.
See, but the thing about it is, it was never designed. It was never made for the porn aspect of it. Like the nudity and all the sex that comes on OnlyFans was not what the platform was made for. It was initially,
but that's what blew it up.
Yes,
that's what's making it successful.
Well, the reason that happened is because the strip clubs were all closed.
Sorry, I've been trying to unlock this article that explains it, but they had an ad wall that made me take a survey.
Did you pass? Did you get a free iPad?
It made me answer questions about muting and unmuting software devices for some reason.
Okay. So what does the article say, Joey? Article you pulled
The
up.
OnlyFans founder is blaming banks for the ban on porn. He's saying unfair treatment by banks forcing him to ban pornography on the platform was caused by an outcry from the site's users and sowed doubt over its future. The change in policy, we had no choice. Short answer is banks. Stokely was, basically he was saying that it was blocking, the Bank of New York Mellon flagged and rejected all interbank wires linked to the website.
That's right. Oh, you know what? Because they're not American based. So they're like servers are all in like Scandinavia or somewhere. But whenever so all right, here let's pull back the curtain, the iron curtain of DJ Marcus. I have purchased OnlyFans subscriptions in the past, but when I did it, I got charged a wire fee from my bank. So my bank would charge me a fee on top of the $9.99 because I don't spend any more than $10 on none of them. I'm not that big of a fan of any of them, but it would charge me an extra fee on top, and I was always wondering why. But then now this article came out telling us that the banks were trying to stop them because again, it's pornography. No one wants to be associated with pornography. That's where the problem comes in, Kandyce, is that they didn't make the site for porn. Because it was initially designed for like a Beyonce to have an a different platform for her fans just to come to, for the Beehive just to swarm in. and just give her money, and they could have exclusive concerts, exclusive like her making music in behind the piano at her house, things like that. They could see, and it'll grow from that. But it turned into Bad Baddie. What's that? The Cash Me Outside girl. Yeah, it turned into her making $1.8 billion in 2 weeks when she turned 18 and opened up all full access to her OnlyFans account. Now again, these are situations that what does everybody really want? And truthfully, the pandemic has shown that we need porn more than we care really about these celebrities. I don't care about spending time with DJ Khaled and Fat Joe, who, by the way, do have a free OnlyFans page, which I did access, and then I kept getting content from DJ Khaled where he'd send up like those Snapchats he used to do, but he does them on OnlyFans. That's ridiculous. I don't need that shit from him. I don't need him sitting in the garden talking about Ja. I don't need any of that. I just need I need some broads twerking and working. Like I mean, hey, it's what I liked OnlyFans for. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Kandyce. This will take a chunk out of their revenue stream. But at the end of the day,
I'm gonna try to reach out and buy stock right now because it's got to be low, and then when they reverse the ban, then it'll go back up. So I'm gonna buy the dip.
It's gonna buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
You can't. They're private right now. You can't buy stock in them.
I can contact them for some stock as a private
investor.
transaction.
Just investor.
Yeah,
you get an investor note. You say, "Hey, I want 2% of OnlyFans.
I want a percentage before you go for your IPO."
There you go. Hey, you can get in like Steve Madden and freaking the Wolf of Wall Street. Get in there like that.
You can pay them all in .comedy coin.
Coin.comedy.
We'll start a crypto that they could use.
Yep.
And that'll be their bank to get around all these shenanigans.
Coin.comedy will be the new face of OnlyFans.
Is it not okay for sex workers to use blockchain because it's like they're in chains for your love?
I don't know why you were going there, and I don't want to know. Your mind goes places I don't understand sometimes, Joseph. Kandyce. So here's a question for you, Kandyce. Now here's what the people want to know. Okay, when I say the people, I mean me. Just point blank period. Before all this nonsense takes effect, how much are you really going to set this price point at on your OnlyFans page?
I don't have an OnlyFans page. Leave me alone.
I could be your OnlyFan.
Then it'd be OnlyFan and not OnlyFans.
You know Joey gonna sign up to. You know Joey gonna get a subscription. Stop acting like you something brand new.
Don't do that.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, what else is going on in the world, Joe?
I heard that there was a race.
Racist?
No,
all of them. All white people.
No.
Oh.
That's not.
I'm sorry.
That's not where I was going with that.
I'm sorry. Flashbacks. Flashback. I apologize.
Do you remember Shikari?
Yes.
So
I heard about Shikari. Shikari got her ass dusted. She put a 50-pound wig on her head and she got dusted by some Jamaicans.
Oh my God. It was so bad.
Those Jamaicans dusted her ass, and she put that 90-pound fucking storm wig on like she was gonna run fast. Yo, dummy, sit your silly ass down somewhere. You can't do this shit right now.
Black Twitter turned on her something vicious.
How much?
It was really
how much like smoke did she smoke? Did she
slowed her down?
Took her wind away.
Somebody called her the Last and the Furious. I was like,
oh no.
She knew she was gonna get dusted on that jump though. She had to.
I mean, it wasn't even.
It wasn't close.
Don't come last though.
Thank you. The white girl beat her.
That's why I think it was an aberration. Because I last.
Smoke too much, man.
That's just
pulled her wind. Her wind's gone.
That can't be the oh, that's all she's got. I'm looking. I'll wait for the bounce back. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I'm hoping she does bounce back. I'm hoping that she gets her shit together in 2025. Are they going 4 years?
She's
now?
only 21.
Are they still doing 4? Are they doing 4 from now or 4 from last year?
Good question.
So it's 2024, 25 Olympiad. I'm looking for Shikari to do dangerous things, but she need to pick her damn speed up because them Jamaicans would have dusted her ass if she got to the Olympics. And
I didn't realize she was so short. She's only 5'1".
Oh yeah, they all tiny. They all short, man.
I guess
Most of them are.
That's not true. I think usually runners are pretty tall. Like runners and swimmers, I think, are usually tall.
Hurdlers are tall.
Legs for those strides.
Hurdlers are tall. Midgets run really fast.
it depends if it's sprinting versus running.
If you've ever seen a midget's legs when they running, like I saw a midget do the milk crate challenge. But then their legs moving when he fell off them crates. He thought he was Mario. Like he had a couple seconds before he hit the ground. He thought he was gonna run off. But no, little people. There are little runners too. There are little runners. I've seen a few of them. Here
is what I like so much about Shikari. Came in dead last and was still talking shit. Like still talking so much shit from the back. And I was like, you know what? That's how I am in life. I just fail completely and still have just delusional self-confidence.
I have faith. I think she's gonna have to. I like that though. That means she's not gonna pull a Ronda Rousey and lose once and just like quit your whole career because you got your ass kicked.
That's not what Ronda Rousey did. She took the payday, man. WWE money.
She could not figure out how to beat Holly Holm and then gave up on UFC because she couldn't handle getting punched in the face.
Holly whooped her ass.
Didn't she have a baby? I think she started a family.
She just had a baby.
I mean,
she just had a baby this year.
She had a whole mental breakdown when she got her ass kicked. And the only reason she got her ass kicked is because she wouldn't allow people to hit her in the face during training.
Yeah.
How are you going to be a fighter and not let yourself get hit in the face during training? That's your job, is to get hit in the face.
Not really. Your job is to dodge getting hit in the face.
You're going to get hit in the face.
Okay. How many times you got hit in the face in jiu-jitsu?
Well, jiu-jitsu is not a striking sport, so...
Oh, it's not? I thought y'all punch each other.
I mean, I gotten hit in the face a couple times, but it wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
Most of that just happens during loose scrambles.
Can't you ever been punched in the face?
So Ronda Rousey, more than any of the other female FCC fighters, she was like, she did acting and stuff like that. So she, more than any of the other ones, had a need to protect her face, to protect her paycheck.
But if you don't protect your
brand.
Well, no. If you don't allow yourself to get hit in the face, you won't be prepared for it when it happens for real, and then you'll lose your career, which is what happened.
True.
Holly banished her from UFC. And if you don't want to do that anymore, fine, but just do it. Don't act like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread in your sport, but you can't. There's a whole phase of the game you can't compete with. I
agree. I think that she for the most part should have. She did the right thing by going to WWE. And SummerSlam this past Sunday or past Saturday. I don't know why the hell it was on the Saturday, but the Olympic gold medalist was a young black woman.
Yeah,
and the men's was a black man. They were at SummerSlam, and looks like they might be signing to WWE at some point soon too.
That's where the money is. What else would you do with a gold
wrestling
medal?
Gold medal? Yeah,
where is there to go from there in real life? It's like either MMA or I can go cash out and do WWE.
Yeah, it's more strenuous to do WWE. You got to do more shows. Like MMA, you're training all the time at like UFC. You're training all the time, but you don't fight but once like every 2 years. Unless you're like Conor McGregor.
A bit more frequent. UFC is a bit more frequent. It's not like boxing.
Well, yeah. UFC. But, I don't understand, man. I can't do a job where you got to get punched in the head I mean, I got steaks thrown at me, and I almost lost my shit. Like I would choke. I'd be the motherfucker choking people.
What's steak? Like actual steaks?
Yeah,
Like
somebody threw a fucking steak at me on Thanksgiving Day.
Why was a steak thrown at you on Thanksgiving Day?
Because this guy was a dick.
Was it cooked or frozen?
No, it was fresh red meat thrown at me. Because he was mad I wouldn't give him a refund on Thanksgiving Day, and then he threatened to kill me 5 times. Called me and said, I hope your mom and your wife got black dresses. I was like, well, I'm not married, so come back to this bitch and we'll see who got a black dress. And the motherfucker disappeared. So, hey, that's how life goes for me.
How did I not hear about this story?
I don't talk about all the mishappings of what I do for a living.
Was that this past Thanksgiving?
No, it was 2 Thanksgivings ago.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 Thanksgivings ago. This, like a couple weeks ago, I got cursed out by a guy who tried to pull a flim flam. He had a receipt of some stuff he stole from our shelf, and he wanted to return it for cash, and he got the wrong one that day. So what I told him was, hey, no, you can't return that.
For some reason, when
Flim flam.
I mean, the word flim flam, it popped in my head like it was a dental dam. Like he was pulling out some sort of like diaphragm out of a purse.
That's the flim flam. The flim flam diaphragm. I guess so, Joseph LoFaro. But yeah, so he cursed me out because I wouldn't give him a refund, and then he said, again, you know what everybody goes to whenever I say no to them? They yell, "You fat bitch! I don't know why you won't just give me my money back." And that's when I lose my shit. Because I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? Because again, in my head, I weigh 175. And I'm muscular, so it's weird. So someone actually,
so you're the big dog that thinks he's a little dog.
Yes.
No one on this show weighs 175. No.
Okay. Okay, 275. I'll drop another 100 on top of that. I weigh 275 and I'm muscular and I'm ripped, so people shouldn't be talking to me that kind of way. So when they go, yeah, because what the guy did when he threw the steak at me was, would your fat ass eat that motherfucking steak? And he threw it at me. So that's when I picked up my scan gun and proceeded to walk behind him like I was going to hit him in the back of the head with it. Lucky for him, one of my beautiful assistant managers that was working with me grabbed my arm and pulled me in the office because she knew I was crazy. Most people know I'm really crazy, but they don't know when they pull it out of me how crazy I'll really end up being. Because if I hit you, I ain't going to stop.
What was wrong with the steak? Why was he wanting to return it?
He wanted a different cut of meat than the one he bought because he said it was tough. And I'm like, well, you bought a chuck eye. How the fuck you think it was going to taste? It was chuck. It's chuck. Chuck meat is tough if you don't know how to cook it correctly.
Yeah, you got to cook it right.
You got to cook it correctly. You damn near got to boil that and then cook it.
Yeah, soften it up. You got to tenderize the shit out of it.
Yeah, so he was like, oh, I want a ribeye. I give you a goddamn ribeye from fucking shit.
That's some ghetto shit.
Yeah,
You bought the cheap fatty steak, thinking that you were going to be able to get ribeye, and then you just demanded. Like that's why the ribeye cost more.
Yeah. So he was like, "Well, they ain't got none of the ones I want back there. So you just need to give me a refund on what I got here." I'm like, "I ain't give you shit." And he's like, "Well, you gonna take this other meat then and exchange it?" I ain't exchanging nothing. Sorry, have a good day. And he was threatening women up front. So I walked up there and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm done with you today. He's like, you just gonna take my meat and then leave? And then he just picked up a package and threw it at me. No, son. No. Joey's never seen me crazy, Kandyce, and I hope you never see it either. I hope that in our travels together, when we're traveling this great big blue ball together, and when we're retired, because you'll be like 85 and I'll be 65, we can see the world together, and you never see the anger that's inside of me when people really piss me off. Because again, Kandyce, it's me and you against the world. We're gonna travel this world together. Okay?
This is gonna happen on .comedy road trip with some carny that's responsible for some backstage nonsense.
Yep. Let that balloon not pop at the fucking carnival we go to as .comedy. Let me hit it with that fucking arrow.
No, I'm saying we're gonna be backstage and he's gonna be fucking with your equipment and you'll be like, what you touch this wire for?
I'm gonna hear a hum that wasn't there before.
And you would want to knock his teeth out, but he only has 2.
So I gotta hit them both. Hit them both on one good punch.
Blah blah.
Blow, blow. Oh man, but yeah, Joey, what else going on, man? What else you got going on in the world, dude?
So remember how Florida had DeSantis was ordering that parents can decide whether students were wearing a face covering?
Yes.
Well, now both Broward and Alachua counties are not necessarily complying with that.
They making it mandatory that all students wear.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing about that. Here's a funny thing about that story, Joe.
They do not include an opt-out option.
Okay. I was watching an interview with this dad who was an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, everything anti. And he was like, yeah, I don't want my son wearing a mask. They're just stifling the Constitution of us and our children. And the kid was like, so what does your son think? And he was like, yeah, my son likes wearing the mask. It makes him think he's a superhero. And it's like, motherfucker, your kid is fine. Who are you fighting this battle for? The kids don't give a goddamn. They want to go back to school. 90% of them just don't just want to go back to school. Why are you worried about them wearing a goddamn mask? Let the kid wear the goddamn mask. And then they're like, oh, well, if my kid got to wear it, then they're going to make me wear it. Ain't nobody making you do shit. Get the disease.
I mean, it's hot. I get it.
Kandyce is finally vaccinated. She got half of it. She going to get the other half. And it's going to be,
I need y'all to stop being
popping.
half bullshit. It's FDA approved now. Go get the other half.
I'm gonna go get Pfizer. I'm gonna go get both Pfizers. I'm gonna get the Pfizer in one arm and the Pfizer in the other. That way I'm gonna even out. I got Moderna in one arm, so I might. So next week I'm already talking like this because I got.
You can't even mixing the shit.
Can't mix them.
Don't do that mixing.
I thought it was like.
You can't. You have to get the same one, Marcus. Oh my god.
I thought it was like a Slurpee. If I mix them up, I get better flavors.
There's already a lambda variant. Don't go and create a gamma variant or whatever the fuck the next one's going to be.
The lambda,
the zeta phi beta variant.
Huh? What was that again?
Did you guys know that Dolly Parton put her personal wealth behind Moderna?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I did not know that. I just found that out like a couple of days ago. I had no clue. And you know, I love Dolly. I would have got that one if I would have known it was. She made it.
Dolly put all that titty money behind it.
Just gotta incentivize Kandyce the right way.
Yeah. Dolly Parton got OnlyFans. Did y'all know that? Yes, she does. She got OnlyFans, and it's me and 16 trillion other guys. It's like, how's a trillion people on her? I don't know how she got satellites in that motherfucker. She got motherfuckers from other planets looking at them yaboos.
I don't know what these Floridians are going to do with that OnlyFans because, I mean, half of them didn't graduate high school. And the other half are dead. Florida has reported more COVID-19 deaths last week than ever before. 1 in every 5 U.S. deaths reported in the state are tied to COVID.
Cough yourself to
That
death.
place is a cesspool.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 deaths
In Florida.
Well, the thing is, I think they're contributing anybody's death,
and they have the most.
Contributed a lot of people's deaths to COVID that ain't died COVID. Stubby, if you freaking, hey man, a house fell on this guy. All right, how'd he die? He coughed right before the house fell.
They're gonna have a high death rate anyway because it's Florida.
Well, yeah,
they have like they have old people and idiots.
Damn, you made me drop something. Truth makes me drop stuff. Oh man,
Hit different.
It hit different because that's the truth about Florida. Florida consists of everything. Florida is the anus of America. It is right there, just dangling. It's a chode. It's the last dangling chode of America. It is sitting there dangling off, and we're just trying our best to shit that.
You mean a Chad?
No, chode.
What the hell's a chode?
It's when shit it sits right there at the bottom of your butt cheek.
Oh no! Oh no!
You've never had that happen to you?
Nope.
I gotta call my white friends because they told me these words. I don't. Oh, Kandyce left.
Well then,
I guess that was her cutie leave. All right, but yeah, man. Florida is the natural selection place in the world where, hey, 9 times out of 10, if shit's gonna go sideways, it's gonna go sideways in fucking Florida. But what else we got going on, man? The world is big. The world is wide. What else we got going on in this great big blue ball of ours, Joey?
A bad time to do that.
I mean, it's just you and me at the current.
I was in the middle of typing something. The House has passed a bill to restore the Voting Rights Act.
Did it go
this
away?
This happened today.
Did the Voting Rights Act go away? Unbeknownst to me?
The bill, so...
Because when you said this to me, I that was a thought that went through my head.
I think it's been an issue because of what happened in Georgia earlier this year.
Okay.
And that's why they named the legislation after John Lewis.
Okay.
The Alabama Democratic Representative Terry Sewell said old battles have become new again. She's the one who introduced the legislation. She said, I want you to know that the modern day barriers to voting are no less pernicious than those literacy tests and those poll taxes. Sewell said, and what we must do, as we did back in the 60s, is when we see states running amok, we need federal oversight. So
there you go.
This is an attempt for the federal the federal government, the federal law to try and to guarantee those rights in advance of the state law, because that way, you know, people in Texas aren't living in the wild fucking west, since they're intent on banning education based on reality. So, you know, it stands to reason. But as always, this shit always gets caught up in the Senate. So the House, for some
the House
reason,
has always been progressive.
Well, there's just too many people. There's too many poor people. There's too many poor people who lean liberal, and so the House is probably forever going to lean that way until a drastic, shift in how our parties are structured. But our Senate's a tighter squeeze, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, you'd think that at some point I don't understand the idea of I hate people. I just hate people. Why? Just you vote for everything else like it's American Idol. Why are you so worried about this? It's in terms of this, we got to make sure that people can't vote that shouldn't vote.
Who's voting that shouldn't vote? I mean, really, who is out there going?
Thank you.
That's kind of I really want to vote. I'm a vote in this election. I'm not supposed to.
Do you know how hard it is to vote once? Who wants to take the time to vote multiple times? Even if you intend to do it, I think you can only probably, as a person who wants to cheat the system, you probably could get only 5 votes in
before something goes haywire.
And on top of that, you're going to get caught. They're going to check stuff. So it's been overplayed that there's this idea of voter fraud and stuff. It's just accept that you lose. More people disagree with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe people will be less broken up about it if we stop treating everything as it's either this way or this way, and actually look at the numbers and go, oh, well, the nation's split about 60-40. How about we govern 60-40 so that we kind of find compromises that work for everybody? Just a thought.
You know what happens then, Joey? Get that reparations check.
Only if you live in Greenbelt.
I'm moving to Greenbelt. I need my reparations check. I need to get that check. I'm trying to get these checks together so that I can buy some more GameStop stock. The squeeze happened, man.
I mean, we aren't going to be spending money in Afghanistan anymore, so you'd think.
Yeah, that did come to it's kind of questionable end over in Afghanistan.
The low-key fact that we've been there for 20 years.
2 decades fighting these motherfuckers.
This war almost could drink. It almost got to the point where this war could drink.
Basically. And it has.
This war has voted the last election.
This war has voted the last election. This war has seen a black president in its lifetime. This war has seen an orange president in its lifetime. This war went through the Donald Trump presidency. This is how long this war. I thought the war was fucking over. I could have sworn I saw George Bush on an aircraft carrier with a sign say "Mission Accomplished." So I thought the war was over back then.
I mean, Lockheed Martin wasn't done making money yet, so
the military-industrial complex that Joey likes to rail against.
I mean,
I don't rail against them.
How am I wrong?
Hey,
prove me wrong.
Hey, guess what, Joey? Next week's sponsor to the Comedy Podcast, Lockheed Martin,
Northrop Grumman. Like, you really need to keep buying weapons. The only reason I have a war is to like, it's been pushed for. No one, not a soul was asking for us to stay there. We were hoping they would have figured out a way to not fuck over everybody in Afghanistan.
They were going to do that anyway. That was
we knew it was inevitable. It was inevitable. We don't know how. We don't know. Like, we pretend like we need to be like, look, and we can't solve our own shit. We're fighting right now over infrastructure. Bending roads falling on top of cars and fucking like.
Well, it didn't fall.
Seasides collapsing. But by all means, let's go tell other countries how they should fucking run their shit.
Hey.
Meanwhile, we can't agree on an infrastructure bill so that our shit doesn't crumble.
I agree completely. I've been there. I've fought this battle, Joey. But you know what America is, Joey? It's a shining example of a city on a hill. And we just look down at other motherfuckers and say, I could do better than them.
He ain't shiny no more. No one's polished jack shit. Like, that's my point.
It's just tarnished.
We haven't, like, buy a maid to polish shit instead of spending more. We have a gun rack. We have a gun rack and a dirty, dirty house. It smells.
Is that America?
Yes.
Is it a mansion with a gun rack and
dusty,
dirt?
It's a haunted house with a bunch of unnecessary guns.
Okay. Sounds like your in-laws.
And there's like one of those like really shiny night costumes, but or armors like stood up in the hall, but it's all tarnished.
It's green because it's tarnished.
Green ass motherfucker.
It looks like the Incredible Hulk's armor suit.
It's the fucking Green Knight. Like that movie's about to come out.
Wow. Yeah. America just needs to stop trying to police the rest of the world. We've done this.
Can we? Like, if we need to step in and help out some places, I get that. But you know what? Hey, let's get our own fucking shit right first.
We as far as the rest of the world is concerned, we have it together. Like, because they look at us as the example of freedom, truthfully. Like, we can do stuff that other countries cannot do. Name one freedom you have that is rampant, that's not pushed back against with governments in all these other countries.
I actually had this conversation with my girlfriend on our way back from Manassas because I had to educate her. She didn't, she's from Nigeria. She doesn't know the significance of the Civil War.
Okay.
And I was explaining to her, the Civil War created the military-industrial complex. Like, we think it was about slavery. It was about the military-industrial complex. It was when the whole point of that was the North was moving to industry. They wanted the resources the South had, and they found a reason to take it from them so that they can keep building and profiteering off of that. So you had the Civil War. It was literally the first war that was fought stylistically based on attrition. It was literally, let's just make more guns than the other guy. Let's make more bullets because we can. Let's make more weapons because we can. And you've seen that in every war since has been the mobilizing for war. Mobilizing shit for war industrially has only occurred since the Civil War.
Okay.
That was the significance, and that's why it's still relevant. That's why our Civil War is relevant to the whole world, is because it birthed that mentality of, oh shit, we can make weapons to dictate the outcome, and we can make money off of making those weapons.
I'm not going to sit here and argue with you on that, Joey. But don't belittle the slavery aspect.
I'm not belittling it. I'm saying
no, it was about slavery, Joey. The Civil War was about slavery.
You think the white people
do not
really wanted
do not change the narrative in this. It
Okay.
was not states' rights, Joey.
I didn't say it was.
Don't do state rights shit to me,
What are you talking
white man. Don't do that to me, white man. Watching you. You about to pull our country.
I'm just pointing out
Jews will not replace us.
There may have been
the
some.
Jews will not replace us. I hear you already over there, huh? Charlottesville.
I'm not sure where you're going with that. I'm saying there was some
ticket, short khaki pants, white shirt.
There were some aligned objectives that got that done.
I agree. I do agree completely with that. I've read enough about the Civil War and about how the country was motivated behind that. But I also don't believe that. I don't believe in war for war's sake is true. I believe we get frenzied really fast. We get frenzied.
I believe we get manipulated.
No, we get frenzied.
Yeah, because we get manipulated.
So you think 9/11 was an inside job?
No, I think the way we reacted to it.
It's frenzy.
But it's also was on purpose. Like, I remember the day after. I remember September 12th, 2001. I remember that day. I remember cutting on the news, and the news was a picture-in-picture. And the rest of the screen was a recurring graphic of the towers getting hit over and over and over on loop. That's not reporting. That's sensationalism. That's why we get frenzied. Like, You can't act like that doesn't have an impact. That's imagery to drill in, this attack thing. So it set us up to be like, yeah, we got to go, we're going to finish the fight.
Did you believe that back then?
I didn't.
What did you believe we should have done?
I wanted to figure out what the hell happened because I didn't know what the Taliban was.
Okay.
Like, I'll admit, I was ignorant. I didn't know what was going on. Okay. I'm never really pro-war.
What? How can you not be pro-war, Joey?
I haven't seen a significant reason for us to be pro-war. Especially because the last 50-some years, name one war that, we've actually won that was just, like, name a war that, like, we try to treat every war. Like World War II, everybody celebrates like it was the greatest time in American history where America was
tyranny. We fought against tyranny.
We fought against the greatest obvious evil known to man. There was no gray area. Everything about America around that war was great, except for I don't know, maybe bombing innocent civilians, with the most powerful weapons that we could fathom.
We had to scare them, Joey.
Yeah, but we did more than scare them. Like, that's like scaring someone by shooting them. Like,
were they scared?
Well, maybe in that instant before they ran out of blood in their heart.
Well, okay, question for you. Because
wait, they didn't have time because it was a nuclear bomb, and they died. They disintegrated.
My dates are a little off. Was Hiroshima before or after Hitler's bunker?
Before.
Okay, so
I believe. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure the war in Japan ended before, because it was literally like the next day. But I could be.
Because that'd be the reason why I would say it was fear. That was necessary to scare everyone who was against us to say, you know what, we're going to stop this.
Well, I mean, that was the justification they used. They said the actual invasion of Japan would have cost so many more lives that they justified using the bomb. But notice we haven't used that logic to justify being at war for 20 years, not being at war for 20 years.
But the loss has been lessened in this war on our end.
On our end, maybe, but like I'm just saying in general, like there's a reason we haven't done that ever since.
can't just drop bombs like that, man. You can't drop a nuclear bomb on
Why
everybody.
not? If we want people to, like, that was the whole justification was
We wanted
to scare people into doing what we needed them to do, or we wanted to deter further conflict. We didn't do that in Vietnam. We didn't do it in Korea. We didn't do it
We lost Vietnam. We lost Korea.
Well, I know we didn't do that because of the Cold War. We were trying to actually not get into a nuclear shootout with Soviet. But even since the Soviet Union fell, we haven't done it. We haven't done that in the Middle East with any of our
We can't
fights
do it
over
there.
We should be doing it at all. Is my point.
Well, we can't
because it was wrong in the first place.
It was not wrong, man. I don't believe it was wrong to do. I don't believe it was wrong to send that message, because I believe that the axis of evil that persisted was more dangerous than we ever gave them credit for being. Now, I watched How to Become a Tyrant on Netflix.
I did too.
Yeah, and knowing just how incredibly evil these particular leaders were,
I don't think the leader of Japan wasn't on that.
No, he wasn't on that.
And Nazis would have fallen anyway. Their mistake was opening a war on two fronts. That really, the nuclear aspect of it, because Germany wasn't that far behind in creating nukes, their lines crumbled because they were overextended.
Well, yeah, they tried to fight us and Russia.
And
they couldn't fight Russia in Russian territory.
Russia was being ran by an insane person. And
Yes,
so they had insanity on one side, and they had the U.S. who had gotten their shit together. We were just so happy to not be in the Great Depression that we were like, yeah, we'll fucking fight them. Who gives a fuck? Let's go.
True.
We were so tired and depressed from being from the Great Depression.
Yeah,
literally. Sometimes that happens. You ever been there? Like, you've been depressed and then you snap out of it and you get angry.
Yes.
And that moment of anger, you feel better.
Yes, I can see that.
That we were that as a nation, and World War II was that a moment for us. And it just so happened that instead of taking that out on somebody who didn't deserve it, we had a villain that absolutely deserved that. And so we got to celebrate it.
Well, I mean, you ever seen the movie Hacksaw Ridge?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Hacksaw Ridge showed me what the Japanese resolve was during World War
the Japanese resolve was a whole different thing.
Yeah. So that's why I say it was necessary.
But that's not a necessary. The Japanese wasn't a matter of being evil, though. What atrocities did the Japanese commit?
They bombed Pearl Harbor.
That's a military target.
We weren't in the fight.
Agreed.
We weren't in the fight.
They started shit. I'm not disputing that.
You come over and fucking and take my basketball. I'm gonna come over and kick your mom in the balls.
But they attacked a military target.
An unprovoked military target of a country who said point blank period, we're not getting into the European war. We're not. Mm-hmm. Not on us. That's their shit. They can deal with that. And then you pull us in.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the issue was, if we never fought against Germany, that would have been understandable, because Germany didn't do anything to America except for they sank one boat, Lusitania. Mm-hmm. They sank that one boat, and that was it. They never attacked American soil.
I mean, we were kind of if we wanted to keep our ally relationships, our allies, that we
had to step in.
It was something that we were kind of like being complicit about. And it was, I think, it's easy to look at what happened there and say we all made all the right decisions, but keep in mind, the guy who was in charge of that whole army, who is the leader, who was the guy who led who was the general of all generals for the U.S. during that time.
Pat?
No.
Eisenhower? Okay.
And then he became president. And what did he say when he left office?
Don't fear the industrial complex, because it's coming. Fear of the military-industrial complex because it's coming down the pipeline. I know I was part of it, and I'm a man about my conspiracies, and I know about these damn things. And y'all need to listen to me. You know, I got one leg and a wooden eye.
Okay,
that's not what he said. I mean,
some of that is accurate. But we all seem to. We always pick and choose these things, but it's like we don't like the guy that we celebrated. Like Eisenhower was the Republicans before Reagan happened. He was the guy. You could say a bad word about Eisenhower. Was like a god, and he was revered.
Same with Washington.
And for some reason, they just chose to ignore that when he left office. But if you think about the truth that like has become, look at every aspect of how America has celebrated our military, being in the military, celebrated our war machine, celebrated our war history. We celebrate commanders and wars and battles, and we don't look at it as when, that's why we question when our military did fucked up shit like what we did to the Native Americans. We don't want to look at that part of history, and we want to erase that because it doesn't glorify military advancement. Because we want to be a militaristic nation, because that's what allows us to spend more money on weapons.
Okay, what's the end game, Joey?
Huh?
What's the end game?
What end game?
The spending the money on the weapons. You get all the weapons, you beat everybody. What's the end game?
There isn't one. Though that's not the point. You're missing the point. The companies that make the weapons are trying to get you to just find ways to. They're just trying to sell more. They want to just make more money. Same as any other capitalist extreme. So, what is the whole point of the whole thing that is the one critical misgiving about capitalism is the fact that it doesn't really account for uncontrolled greed that's not based on any type of any sort of humanity.
Okay.
And so you get carried away with so that they just their job is like at some point as a company, your job is no longer to make a product. It is to make money. Your job is to make money for your shareholders. Because no matter how much money they have, it's never enough.
Okay.
So these companies that do that have billions and billions of dollars. It's a multi-billion dollar industry. They buy and influence. Their influence in power is even larger. So they can go and filter, and they can affect education. They can go and affect our media. They go and put out all these things to try and tilt things and shift things and feed on certain ideals that they've instilled over time. Our celebration of military success and military history is what allows for this to continue.
Okay.
Instead of looking at war that's why we look at loss of life as a thing that just happens. Gun violence, getting shot is something we just go, oh, well, it happens. We don't look at it as someone that like killing people is a last resort for whatever situation.
All right, man. You know what? I'm on your side.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I went real.
Well, while you were doing your diatribe on that end, I was looking up the list price for Lockheed stock, and it's only $359. I think I'm gonna buy a couple shares of Lockheed stock, and I'm gonna get my military industrial on, and I'm gonna become one of those guys. I'm gonna talk from the front, from inside. I'm gonna tell them how it is
for a share.
Yes, I'm gonna buy 6 of them. I'm buying 6 shares. God damn it! Maybe I'll have some money. I don't know. Maybe it'll go up.
That's one of many. You probably don't know the names of the other companies that are breaking in the billions for all their associated aspects. So
Blackwater.
There's one Halliburton, all these other guys. There's a billion of Booz Allen Hamilton. there
I know
are
somebody that works for Booz Allen Hamilton. I thought they were big evil. I didn't know what they were doing that was evil specifically. But I was like, you know what? I know somebody that works there. But
they're a defense contract. My dad used to work there.
oh, okay. Everybody worked there.
Yeah.
But you know what we're going to do, Joey? Get the fuck out of here, man.
All right.
The show is over, man. It's been fun. We've had actually fun, though, this week. This week has actually been a fun week. It was good hearing from Kandyce. Glad you had a chance to go up to New York, man.
Yeah.
And just do some fun shit, man. Do dope shit and live life the best way possible.
You know who is?
Who is?
Ryan Reynolds is living his best life. Go see Free Guy. You won't regret it. It's worth seeing in the theater.
Free Guy.
It might be the only good movie that's come out this year, like actually good movie.
And Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War was a great movie. Definitely see Tomorrow War. All right, but Jet Man, it's been a good week. Where can they find you at this week, Joe?
I have a show at the Huntington in Rockville on Thursday, but that seems to be a limited engagement. But I am available Saturday, the Ugly Mug in DC. I will be telling jokes and collecting tickets. So,
all right,
come out and see us. It's gonna be a great show. Sandy Bernstein's hosting.
Oh man, Sandy's gonna be there.
Yep.
I follow Sandy on Instagram. She's muscular some days. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, she works out.
Oh, man. But DJ Marcus, if you're looking for DJ Marcus, he will be at the Fairfax Carnival this weekend, spinning the tunes over by the Ferris wheel. I got a promotion from the Ha Ha Hole. I like one of the carnies that comes into the Ha Ha Hole. He said, hey, we need a guy just to spin the records in front of the Ferris wheel. So down in Fairfax, if you got the kids, bring the kids by. You can see DJ Marcus over by the Ferris wheel. Come by. I might spin a record for you when you're on the Ferris wheel. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be. Ain't gonna be that fun. It's gonna be a fucking Ferris wheel, guys. I am DJ Marcus for Joey LoFaro, Kandyce August, Phil Avocado, the whole .comedy goddamn team. We will see you next time with more fun and more thrills on the .comedy podcast.
I thought you were just like me, somebody who could see all the pain I see. But you proved to me unintentionally that you would self-destruct eventually. Now I'm...
There we go. We're out.